Alright, so I want to go over some of the distilling water situations that you're going to find when you're dealing with Edison batteries. Don't even think about using Edison batteries, either NiCad or nickel iron, until you factor in the fact that you need to be distilling water all the time. They consume water, just as a matter of fact, distilled water. And I tell people, master the art of distilling your own water and using a total dissolved solids meter, a TDS meter, and some other things too, to make sure that you know how to distill water when you need it, and store it too. Even I'm working on that. I got the cart before the horse. Now I got to retrofit my studies to distill water properly. So what you see here is a distiller that was sold by Eco-Worthy. They still sell them, but they're double what I paid for. I'll put a link down in the description. This one in particular. As far as I'm concerned, it's a clone of some other popular model. And the way the world is right now, I think supplies are a little bit disrupted. So if you were thinking about getting a distiller, I'd do it. But there's some caveats to that. Now, I've distilled straight water out of the faucet, for the municipal water supply, and I run it through this thing, and just tasting it, there's something off on it. There's something off about it. What I need to do is capture some rainwater and try to distill that, or let me show you something else here. What some people do is they have something like a big Berkey, or in this case I have an old ProPure water filter, and I need to probably get a new filter for it. I kind of let it get diapilated, which isn't surprising considering how busy I usually am. And so that filter's all screwed up, and I could probably resuscitate it. They give you a little scrubber sponge, and I guess it's just a matter of course you clean it off. But anyway, you run your tap water through this, and then you collect it. Of course, it filters through and drops down there, and then you use your faucet. And always shut these off when you're done, because what'll happen is it filters so slow you'll accidentally leave it on. This happened a few times to me, and it'll drip, 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 and then it'll drip, drip, drip down the bottom because you forgot and you left it on. Whenever you see a valve, visualize it this way: in line with the spigot that's on, it can flow out. If you want to cut it off, you want to go perpendicular. Is it perpendicular? Like this, and that'll shut off. That's the way to visualize it. On, off. So anyway, so what I'm saying, but that's another point of failure. What you want to do is get some rainwater. Start collecting your rainwater, and I'll show you some things on that here. So this right here is a used distiller. I have a video on it. It's called the MD5 Aqua Still. It's sold for quite a bit of money, and they still do. It's all stainless steel. This is where the magic would happen. This is a collector. I think it's about 5 gallons, maybe 4 or 5 gallons in there. But I still got to go through it and get it up. The problem with this unit is it takes 1500 watts AC, alternating current. You can see over there, that's another spigot that's been jerry-rigged. Anyway, check out my video on this. Search my channel for the MD5 Aqua Still, because the guy that sold to me made a little video, and I copied it so for posterity. So I got to get it running, but the problem is it takes 1500 watts. That's a huge amount of wattage to be running on my current system. Let me show you some more here. Alright, so basically what happens is this is it's like a cooker. It boils, it makes the water boiling. This seats on here with a gasket, a silicone gasket, and it's somewhat pressurized because you know pressurized water has a lower boiling point. Anyway, maybe not. Maybe I don't think it's pressurized actually. I think that's just to keep the steam going in the direction you want. So let me revise that. This button here, it don't work. It's just cut. It's a pretty button that don't work. To turn it on, you got to plug it in, just like the old-fashioned appliances back in the early days of appliances. So when you get something knockoff or second or a knockoff or a clone or something, some things just ain't right, and this is that case. So what happens is it heats up the water, turns the steam, and see there's a fan. It's some coils like a radiator. You can even feel the heat. The fan, it's sucking cool air through this ventilation and pushing it out, but it's also pushing it over those coils in there. You see those coils? It's cooling the steam enough to where it condenses, goes back in the water state, and it drips out, and you have this cool little deal that keeps it going where it needs to go, and it collects in there drip by drip, and then you're good. Where I bought this, I had a set of stainless steel nuts, and I added a few more just for rigidity's sake. It doesn't come with this many. But the main thing is it's made out of stainless steel, the whole operation, so it's pretty carefree and good to go. So this is supposed to consume about 750 watts. Okay, let me show you a few things. This is my inverter right here. Do you see that? When I started this operation, it was at 27.1 volts. Just turning this thing on consumes a lot, around 40 amps. Okay, 40 amps. And you see that little bar down there? That shows you the capacity of the inverter is a little under half. Well, see, it's just above the 500. So it's about 750 watts right there for 40 amps on a 24 volt system. But so it's giving my inverter a workout. Now this is an 1800 watt inverter, but imagine plugging in that aqua still at 1500 watts. I'm a little skittish about doing that, especially for a prolonged, unless it was the middle of summer and I got tons of solar coming in and don't know what to do with it. With the way I have this rigged, it runs off of panels and batteries, but it prioritizes panels. So as long as you got it, right now, if you look outside, it's all muggy. It's not really good solar right now, but I really need distilled water. I really need it for drinking and for other things. And like I said, this for watering plants or whatever. Right now, my distilling is not perfected. The water I'm distilling right now is going to be. I'm going to test it. It's going to be tweaked. I would not put that in batteries. Either from the tap, there's still, what happens is there's stuff they add to the water, whether it's bleach or whatever, maybe chlorine, maybe probably a fluoride or whatever, maybe some corrosion from the pipes and stuff. Some of that, when it heats up in here, it vaporizes those pollutants. Maybe it's some toxic fertilizer or herbicide, and some of that also vaporizes and also condenses and comes down. And so to eliminate that factor, that's why you would use rainwater, or you would run it through your water filter first, because now you've condensed the water, and you also condense some of those chemicals that have that are also boiled off. And I can taste it. There's something off about it. I would not put that in my batteries. I'm not going to do that until I taste it and know it tastes perfectly good, and then I'll test it with TDS meter, and I'll test it with, I need to learn how to do titration. Really good Mr. X guy, he told me all about titration and carbonization of water. It has to be tested, so that's another whole other thing. But I'm trying to illustrate and present to you, you need to learn about distilling water. That's a priority for you. Now let's move on here. So we're still at this right now. The system's at 23.57 or 23.7 volts or so as the battery bank. This is 20 batteries, group 29 deep cycle, Walmart special ever starts for RV and marine use. So anyway, they're wired for 24 volts. Basically, this side is 12 volts, and that side is 12 volts. But I forget how I did it. Sometimes I forget what I do because my mind is like, my mind is not. There's something wrong with it. After I went to university, like, I got brain damage from studying too much, and I can only remember things for a little bit. So I forgot what I did, but as long as it works, I think I did a good job. Anyway, so here's one solar bank. We'll let that up. If you touch this and cycle it, you'll be able to see. So right there, my batteries are getting 11.5 amps roughly, and my panels are at 37.1, and my batteries at 24.9. But the most important thing, IB there, that's the amperages that are coming in after all the MPPT multi-power point tracking has done its thing. So imagine about 10 amps from this side. Let me take you over to the other side here. Now I got things all screwed up in this place. I'm going to get it situated and more ergonomic as can when can, but I'm telling you, things are a little hold on. I got a box of rusty nuts here. Okay, here we go. So on this bank over here, we can plainly see, not so plainly, well, it's so this one's pulling about 10 amps on this side. So 10 amps and 10 amps equal 20 amps. Okay. Here's some more footage. I've got this battery bank on my channel, another video. Check it out. Okay, let's go back. So 10 and 10 is 20 amps. Okay. Keep that in your mind. Okay, we go back to the inverter, and it's consuming almost 40 amps. We're at 37 right there. See that? No, you can't see because it's not focusing. Well, that's a 37 under the amps thing. I'm sorry, you can't really see it. So 10 plus 10 is 20, and then 40 minus 20 is 20 amps. So it's taking 20 amps from solar and then 20 amps from the battery. If this battery dips down to 22, I'm cutting the operation. Hopefully it'll be done by then. Right now it's overcast, windy, it's scurry, but I need some distilled water. Okay, so what else do I show you? I want to make this video worth your time, add some bonus content. So down here in this look at that toilet seat cover. That's classy, isn't it? I was going to make an outside biogas thing in the future. I'm going to redo that seat, and that might be useful for that. So this is an old Edison nickel-cadmium battery. I got a whole group of these. Some of them are really diapilated. This is Edison 240. This is one of those that are super diapilated. So I got a couple of these here. I'm gonna have to go through them, but you're gonna need distilled water to do any kind of maintenance or even cleaning them out and stuff like that. You're gonna need oodles. This one little gallon of distilled water is not gonna go that far. Look at all the effort it takes. We got some overflow here. Let's just fix this better. You gotta watch that drip will get away from you real slow, and it'd be so slow you'd be distracted. You won't see that. Imagine if I wasn't here to catch that. It'd be dripping water all over the operation. Each drip is precious because look at all the amps and all the craziness you gotta go through. So anyway, okay, so what else I'm gonna show you? Something pertaining to distilled water and this and that. You'll like this. Let me show you this. Now, why am I making this video? Well, I had a good conversation with another guy with Edison nickel-cadmiums. He didn't have time to do an interview. Hopefully he'll do it in the future. And I said, yeah, I'll promote your channel and stuff. I still might have to do that. I just got to remind myself. So I rigged this up just lately. Can you see it? Okay. Talking to the camera here. So that's a rain gutter up there. That's the single point of most rain collection on my property there, right there. And it comes down this downspout into this old IBC. Now I don't know if this thing's watertight or not. I was using it for other purposes, but in this contingency situation, I need to save rainwater. When it decides to be nasty and kick out rain, I'm going to be saving some of that rainwater. And this valve, I need to get a cap for it. That way I have a backup in case this thing, see, because it's failing. It's so old that the plastic is dying. And so anyway, I'm going to work on this. It's either use it for this purpose or use it as part of the aquaponics or type deal. And so that's the one idea to save your rainwater. You may not need something as big as this, but we get tons of rain where I'm at. So you need to start saving your rainwater. One of the easiest ways to do that is just use your downspout, and then you would collect your rainwater and then you would distill that, and that will save you a lot of extra work having to deal. And obviously this isn't the most cleanest setup, but I just did it yesterday. I can deal with it and like that. But if you look up at the sky, it's kind of overcast. It's kind of what we're dealing with here. I might show you my arrays. I have them in other videos. But yeah, to sum it up, I want to keep this video watchable. If it's too long, people they can't handle it. Okay, yeah, let me show you one more thing. I'm kind of in my pajamas. They're camo pajamas, so I look like I'm hunting quail or hunting deer or something out here, and I'm not. Yeah, to dress properly. I'll show you one last thing. Right now, everybody's supposed to stay indoors and whatnot, so. Okay, here's a messed up deal, but a lot of things are messed up. I'm still working on it. And my progress also depends on my viewers. If you help me out doing what you need to do, I have more ability to do more. But you know how that goes. You don't have to. Alright, so this is a silver fire rocket stove. I have it in other videos. Other people do too. Absolutely beautiful system. It's amazing. You take little things of sticks and twigs, and they recommended that the size that'll fit in that, at least initially, in that hole there, that's your gauge. Start out with those, and you can move up to higher sizes. I have. Looks remnants of something I've cooked there. You clean out that in there, and you clean out that down there. You just shake it out and maybe dig around a little bit if it's not coming out, because maybe it got a little wet from the rain and it's sticking in there. But This thing works just like a propane cooker, like the hot gas. It uses a wood gas basically. It's been engineered to use wood gas. That's another thing you should learn about. So there's two heat sources: the burning of the wood and then the gas itself burns. So it comes out of here just as good as a propane cooker. I'm not kidding you. So listen up. I'm going to show you this. We'll go to the last part of the video now. Oh, I'm at 20 minutes, so I got to hurry up. So that, I was telling the guy, the guy I was telling, he also has a silver fire rocket stove. And I recommend getting one of those. It's one of the best purchases I ever made. It looked pricey, but it's worth every penny. I've cooked a lot of meals on that thing, boiled a lot of water. If you want to have a better deal, get the pot that they offer with it. It's a special pot. It's made just for it. It boils things super fast. It's really. We can put like cast iron or stainless steel on there, no problem. And let me shut this door here. Got kind of whoever made this house things aren't all correct on this house. There's a lot of. It used to be a rental house, and you know how the landlords are. They're cheapskates. A lot of things are screwy. In fact, they stole the doorknobs off of that back door. My ex-wife, remember, she's ex now, but she said, we bought the house and it had a beautiful ornate doorknob, and now it's gone. It's been replaced by a cheap thing. So it was a swindler. So the last thing I want to show you is this, and this pertains to let me get this up on the screen here. Okay. So keep that silver fire in your mind. Okay, so right there, that's a stainless steel jerry can. Never seen one before. Okay, that might be an option to start storing your distilled water. When you distill your water, you got to keep it you got to keep it sealed up, because if the ambient air gets to it, it starts absorbing carbon and it becomes carbonized, and you don't want that carbonized distilled water for your NiCad or your nickel iron battery. So you need to keep it stored in either glass jugs or a stainless steel thing, or maybe even plastic jugs, but even all kinds of plastic leaches stuff. So I was looking at this, and I'll show you real quick. I'm worried about this video getting too long. It's pretty pricey, but it's a lifetime purchase. Now, the funny thing about it is, where did I see? Where did I see? Well, I want to show you. Anyway, check this out. I'll put a link on it. The problem is, oh man, maybe I can check on that. I gotta show this to you. You'll make. Where is it? Maybe, okay, they sell different sizes. They sell an 8-gallon, and they sell a 5-gallon, and they sell a 10-gallon. Let me see. They also sell one with the aluminum cap, and they sell one with a stainless cap. Get the one with the stainless cap, because aluminum leaches, and like that. And if you have two dissimilar metals, you'll have a dielectric oxidization problem. If you put two different metals together, they start corroding where they're connected in a lot of cases. Probably all cases, but I'm not sure. So check this out. Let me just put it this way. Check out where it ships out of. You can discover it. You need to put this in a way for a while once you get it. Put it on. Don't touch it, because I might show you later here. So check out this still here. There's a lot of different stills you can still buy. There's a price. I'll put that in the link. But this you can put on your silver fire, and distill your water. And some of the reviews are pretty good. It said it distilled the purest water they ever had. So I could use that silver distilled water and I'll see even when it's overcast, because right now I'm having problems distilling water. And they can come out of that pipe there into that stainless steel deal right there, and I can seal it up and keep it protected. With the amount of nickel-cadmium, nickel-iron batteries I'm dealing with, I'm going to need massive amounts of distilled water. And with all the situation going on, it's hard to the supply chain and stuff. It's best to do it from your own wherewithal. But you see how the price starts adding up, and this is discounted compared to some of the prices. Oh, I got indigestion. So I want to tell you, you need to learn how to distill water properly before you get hot and heavy with these batteries, because that is a fundamental. I'm telling you, I'm out of care and love and affection, and not trying to be condescending, but you got to learn how to do it, and then you collect it and you seal it up right away. You can use this or something else, but you got to watch out. The Mr. X, he was absolutely adamant that you have to have your distilled water checked for titration for carbon. And I don't know all the details, but he was so adamant about it. I take that seriously. When people are, he also wrote a manual about it too. And when people are super insistent, it's because they care, and they really believe what they're saying, and you should take a hint. Let's see. If you go to my channel on Military Industrial Museum, let's see. I have my latest videos and stuff, but you go up to here on the search and you type in MD5, I think. Is that it? I don't want to know. Let's see. Just type in distiller. So yeah, I talk about the one we just looked at. This is an MD5 video. And then you'll want to watch that one. And then right there, it talks about a TDS meter. I did a video on that. And then this shows me buying water at Walmart. I'm not doing that anytime soon. And this is a really interesting video. It talks about, has an old book that tells you how distilled water cleans out your system and might make you live better. So yeah, this video here, this video here, this video here, this video here, and this video here. You know, be watching those, and just type distiller in my channel thing to find them. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching this, and I'm telling you things so you don't save you money and save you mistakes. Learn from everybody you can before you make a mistake and waste your money, because people have made all the mistakes you need to know, including myself. Alright, thank you very much.